right, let's get started. All right, I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for coming. It really means a lot to me. I'm excited to share more of my journey. I know, like on social media and stuff, you get little bits and pieces here and there, but you don't really get the whole story. So I'm excited to share some more with you guys, and hopefully you learn some too. So I guess from very early on, I had a lot of ailments. I'd go to the doctor all the time. I had a lot of ear infections. I would get like swollen lymph nodes, dizziness that it was like unexplained. I would go to like a ton of specialists for that. I found out I had IBS when I was like 10, and just like a ton of things, going to specialists all the time and never really like figuring out, they're always just like, well, I don't know. I don't know what that is. That's normal. Or I don't know, like you have IBS. And I never really like got any answers really, or, they just give you some kind of pharmaceutical, more antibiotics or whatever. And so I didn't really feel like I ever got the answers I was looking for. And then I was noticing too, and like friends, were going through the same thing. And like my mom, she became disabled very early on in my life. And she has like a lot of health issues, but the big thing being like fibromyalgia and chronic pain. And so there's I don't know if I said it was like 10 years old when she became disabled. So there's like a lot of years that I felt like she kind of missed out on things because she couldn't do as much. And so I'm sorry. So I really, like, from an early on age, I felt like I had to search for these answers myself, because she went to a million bajillion doctors and specialists and experimental therapies and even some natural stuff like acupuncture, and she's literally done it all. And she, could never figure it out. And so I really had to dig for my own answers. And hold on. So that really led me to searching for something else. And in 2013, I came across a documentary called Food Matters. Thank you. So I came across Food Matters, and it just lit my heart up. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I highly recommend anybody watch it, because it was life-changing. Like, they really get into how you can use food as medicine, and how food really is medicine. Like, the body has this innate capacity to heal, and if you give it, the tools, like, your body can shine, and your body is so just like miraculous. It's really incredible. So after that, I really cleaned up my diet. I like started juicing, and I really got into like all the natural stuff. Like, I was making like my own deodorant and body wash, shampoo, even like laundry soap and stuff. I really started like trying to clean everything up. I went almost like all organic, like as much as I could. And I was really happy about that, really proud of that, but I still felt like I wasn't seeing the results like I was hoping for. Like the deodorant didn't work that great because I hadn't really like cleansed out enough. You know, there's so much built up after all the years, and I still was really overweight, and I still wasn't like eating very much fruit because, you know, I was really scared of like the sugar in the fruits and stuff. And um, so I kind of, you know, was at an impasse. I kind of let that go for a while because I was like, okay, like I can't bridge the gap somehow in here. And so I kind of let go of it and kind of started going back to like conventional everything. And so last year, I decided, like, I lost my job because of COVID, and I was like, wow, like job security isn't really a thing. I have wanted to be a health coach for like pretty much ever since I found that documentary in 2013. And so I was like, okay, let's finally do it. Like, let's go to school for health coaching and, you know, really do what I feel called to do. But I had been ignoring for so long. So I went there and I was like, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna bridge the gap in my own health and then help people along their own journeys. Um, and it was great. Like, I really loved it. There was so much amazing information, and oh, there's some people in the waiting room. I learned so much. Like, it was really great, and I learned some great skills for like coaching people. And but I still kind of felt like I didn't find that thing. Like, I was like, there's still like kind of something missing, and I don't know what it is. But so I was looking to start my health coaching business, and it's kind of lost as to where to even start, because there's so many things that you can do. It's kind of like a blank slate. Like, you're like, okay, I get to have my own business. Like, now what? What do I feel called to do? What's like my niche? And so then I ended up chatting with Carrie, and I'm so thankful. She went to IIN as well for health coaching, and we got to talking, and she told me that she went to school after that to become a regenerative detox specialist. And so she really opened the door to regenerative health. And she was telling me these things and about how the body can heal itself, and how the lymphatic system is like very, very directly related to that, and opening up the eliminative pathways, like opening up your kidneys. And I was just like, this all like makes so much sense. I think this might be it. And so we were talking, and she told me about this company that she partnered with, and how they go through the big thing being 30-day transformations. And so I decided to do that. And I think I did a little bit, I was pretty skeptical, I guess, because like I had been through things, like I have done organic stuff, and, you know, juicing, and I've done so many different protocols in the past that, you know, you just don't really see results in. I mean, maybe like I lost a little bit of weight, but I never felt great. And especially after the last year, my health like was going down, and I really felt like I needed to do something now before like really big things started happening. Like I felt like thyroid issues were coming in my future, diabetes, like I just felt that in my body that if I didn't do something now, that bad things were in the future for me. And I was struggling really, really bad with my IBS. It was pretty much debilitating. And yeah, energy was really bad. It was really hard to like get through the days. I don't really like drinking coffee because it's like horrible on my stomach, but I was like drinking a lot of coffee and a lot of like tea with caffeine in it. Like I was just like multiple times a day because you just like can't make it through the day. And so I did the 30 days and I really just decided to commit myself and commit to my health. And it was a beautiful experience. I felt so nourished and my cravings went away like very quickly. And after the 30 days, I had lost 30 pounds. Like it literally just melted off. I don't even like know what happened. It's just like it was gone. I had so much more energy. Like my IBS was like, it was still like I was still struggling a little bit with like constipation, but like the horrible like attacks that I was having were pretty much gone. And yeah, it's just a beautiful 30 days. I ended up doing it for 90 days and ultimately lost 50 pounds. And I still like, I feel like my IBS is pretty much gone. Even in this short journey, my energy is crazy. I feel I never knew that I could have this much like natural energy without stimulants. And it's been really beautiful. It was a lot easier to do than I thought. You know, there's the nourishment aspect being very supported in that. And I felt very supported through, there's this beautiful community with it as well. You can talk to people in there and see where they're at in their journeys too. And the regenerative detox specialists too have Q&A sessions to help you if you have any questions or, you know, symptoms that you're having, like, is this normal or is this part of the process? Or so it's been amazing. And people tell me all the time, like if I mention that I lost like this weight and stuff and made these big changes, they're like, wow, like those are really big changes that had to have been like really hard. And I always like have to sit and think about it for a minute because I'm like, I don't know, I don't feel like it was that hard of a transition. Like I started eating like so much more fruit, and that's still like a process, but I don't know, once you just feel good, you latch onto that and you're like, I want to keep feeling good and keep feeling good. And it's all just fruit and food. And I don't know, I'm so grateful to have experienced this and to have met you, Carrie, and for having introduced this to me. And so yeah, I can't wait to share it with whoever is ready to make a change in their own health too, because it's so simple. And you know, there's so many ailments out there, and it doesn't have to be like this big hard thing. You know, it can be so simple. The answers were right in front of me, you know, for so many years. It's like, wow. So I'm very thankful and ready to share it with the world now. And I'll pass it off to you, Carrie, to share a little bit more about regenerative health and a little bit about you too.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jenny, and thanks for sharing your story. I can relate to so many parts of your story, from having parents in chronic pain to being disabled. That was my dad. And then also suffering with chronic ear infections and antibiotics. And I always had that curiosity of like, why should I eat this orange instead of a Twinkie? Like, what does it do in my body? And if it's on the shelf, it must be safe. Um, but I also like intuitively knew it wasn't. So I had this like curiosity ever since a little kid, but also I was majorly addicted to sugar. And so of course a little kid's going to eat, the Oreo cookies and the processed cereal. And so I grew up eating the standard American diet, and was also told to drink milk. It's good for my bones. And so we're conditioned to think that we need certain things for our health. And it's what I've come to learn is we've been just misinformed, and it wasn't based on truth and the chemistry that we need in our body. And like Jenni, I was searching for answers. I was in my early 20s having neurological issues of my legs giving out on me when I was in school for massage, trying to figure out like, why do I have this chronic back pain? Why can't I stand up straight every morning? I never wanted to get out of bed. I never had energy or felt rested. I had a hard time standing up. And so I was feeling like I was 80 in my 20s, and just started to accumulate more weird symptoms popping up, like allergies as an adult, sore breast way longer. A lot of things that people think are common or are normal are actually just common. And I was starting to experience all kinds of weird symptoms as I got older, and I knew I wanted another baby. And I thought, there's no way I can bring a baby into this world feeling like how I feel in my body. And so I had to make a shift. I ended up going to doctors because I was getting lightheaded, like Jenni, when I stood up, and I was like, what is happening? And I got misdiagnosed, and I thought, I don't want a pill. There's nothing they can do for me. It's something internal. It's something I have to figure out. And thank God I ended up within like a week or two of like setting that prayer down. I found one of my favorite teachers, Dr. Robert Morris, who taught on regenerative detoxification. Everything made sense, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm learning from him. This makes the most sense of anything I've heard. This guy speaks truth. And so I applied it in my body, and people thought I was crazy. I started noticing these changes, and I felt so alone. But I also was like, oh my gosh, how is this not common knowledge? And I wanted to share that with people. And the feedback I got was not like well received, but I just still felt aligned with it and kept going. And all this like laundry list of symptoms got better. Weight fell off. Same like Jenni. Like I didn't even have to work out hard. And I used to have the mentality of like, I have to work out harder and burn it off. And what I've learned is you can't exercise your way out of a bad diet. And the weight's been like stably off for the last 6 years since I've completely transformed. And I lost about 30 pounds too from my heaviest to now, and maintain that. And I always struggled with weight growing up, and was insecure, like super insecure and quiet and shy. And I was known as like the most quiet person. And anyhow, I started learning these principles, applying it, noticing like all these things got better, getting to the root, understanding the lymphatic system and the kidney connection, and cleaning the colon and removing obstructions to the flow of energy to really heal the body and give the body the best condition to heal. So learning these regenerative principles completely transformed my life, not just for the short time I did it, but beyond, because I've made these lifestyle changes. And I did cleanses in the past. I did 30-day things. I did 28-day things, but I never got the education. I never understood why I was doing it and what I should do after that. And the beauty of why we're all here is to really share this knowledge so it becomes common knowledge. And now we've found a platform that we can connect with to share these regenerative health principles and regenerative agriculture and really nourishing our body on a deep cellular level. And it makes my heart smile so much to hear Jenni share her story, and then to help her family and to share this with her community. And it's for people like her and for people that were like me. I just want to share solutions that can be really life-changing for people. If I would have known all this stuff a long time ago, I could have caught my dad's warning signs before. I could have helped my sister with her chronic kidney pain. All these things that we could take preventative and proactive measures. And there's not enough talk about that with everything happening in the world and all the different variants coming our way. Our health is really, really important. And we've found this way to really share health and regenerative, a business model that we're going to share as well, of like how we can link arms and connect to get this information out so it is common knowledge, that we don't have to suffer, and that we can take our health in our own hands and get these amazing, incredible results in community and together and doing it together, so you're not so alone like I was when I first started. And the beautiful ripple effect it can have is incredible, by just one person taking care of themselves and then sharing that with other people. It's helped by me doing that. I've seen this ripple out to thousands, and it's just a really, really beautiful, um, community and thing to be a part of. And I'm going to pass that along to Carrie to share more. She is also, a regenerative detox specialist and a huge leader, and does lots of education to help people in this community. And so I'll pass it to you, Carrie.
Thanks so much, Carrie, and it's an honor to be here. And I just want to honor everyone's time, so I won't be sharing too much, but Carrie is the reason that I'm here today. And I'm a regenerative detox specialist with a very large clinical practice now because of Carrie. So I went through lupus and Hashimoto and fibromyalgia and unexplained infertility. Many, many years of struggling before those diagnoses, where I kept being told my blood work looked normal, everything was fine, and then everything was not fine. So I'm forever, forever grateful for Carrie's voice and for her sharing this, which is why Jenni's really brought you all together, is because this work is this important, and people do need to know that suffering is completely optional. And so we have just so much heart and so much passion. As you know, I'm seeing right now over 40 people a week in the clinic, and that's just like my little small town clinic, right? Which, if I know that many people ill we're just so busy, like there's just millions and millions of people that are ill and they don't know that there are other solutions. So I was able to reverse all those conditions. I also had 2 babies since my infertility diagnosis. They just turned 3 and 1, nursed them both, had just such incredible pregnancies. And I'll tell you, so a little over 2 years ago, I added this micronutrient support and gut support in, and it was life-changing. Like when my daughter was 7 months postpartum, I was really feeling the depletion. I had to go back to work way too fast. I had to bring her to work with me because we were in financial disarray after she was born due to some birth stuff. Thousands of dollars of uncovered medical and a couple car issues, and there you have it. All your savings is gone. And so I was really like teaching people that suffering was optional, and I was in suffering. And it was really a difficult time. It was really difficult to be working 60, 70 hours a week with a small baby and nursing. And I just couldn't figure out, like, why did I feel this way? Why was I so depleted if I was eating all organic and I was juicing and I was doing all the things? And I was losing calcium and connective tissue. Like my skin was getting more saggy. And I was like, I know it's not my diet, because I tried adding other things in and that didn't fix it. Nothing fixed it. And so what I know from the regenerative world is calcium is actually made by your body, and it's made by minerals. And it's supported by the parathyroid gland. And so I was like, I'm depleted. My minerals are depleted. And so that really set me into, well, there's many reasons, like how I met Rita here on a permaculture farm in Costa Rica. We were both teaching at a regenerative health festival type thing, and with Carrie Tidwell as well. And like, I really remember the last time I felt like super, super good in my body was when I was eating from like the trees and eating from like really healthy soil. And when I came home from that trip and I couldn't feel the same, I was like, why am I so tired? Like, I feel so much worse. And that was the light bulb for me, is that our soil was not healthy. And so Rita's probably going to share just a tad bit on soil health, but what we know to be true is that the United States soil is the most depleted soil in the world. It's highly toxic. We don't have the microorganisms that we need, the micronutrients that we need to break down the nutrients into the soil to go into the plant. And therefore the human body is aging fast. So the average cellular age of a 30-year-old is 70, which is insane. like insane to think about. We have children being born with cancer. We went from autism being 1 in 6,000 children to 1 in 22 boys and 1 in 36 children overall since glyphosate began being sprayed in 1980. So this is a massive uptick in disease, or dis-ease, as we like to call it here. And we really have to pay attention. It's not just autism, it's cancer, it's autoimmunity, it's IBS and Crohn's, and IBD affects 80% of Americans have gastrointestinal distress. So we have some big problems. And the really good thing is instead of just saying like, oh my gosh, we're in doom, we have found a solution. And so that's why we're here to share it with you, because it has blessed our lives physically so much. And also there's a business here that is with so much heart. So the owners of the company that we've partnered with, Purium, represents purity and premium. And they really saw overtoxicity and undernourishment plaguing our nation and decided to set forth and begin regenerative farming. So they have regeneratively grown micronutrient superfoods that are organic, kosher, non-GMO, sprouted, dried in the wind. Like, this is really important. Never heated, vine ripened, which, just something real quick, is when you get food from the grocery store, and I always taught my patients and my clientele, eat whole foods. That's all you need to do. Eat organic whole foods. Make sure it's organic, eat whole foods, you're good. And when I realized that that wasn't the truth, it was really hard. It was really heartbreaking to be like, oh man, I've been telling everybody for years to eat whole foods. And then you find out that you do need to supplement and you do need to get stuff from regenerative soil. And so this is how we came about this, and how I found this was through Rita. And I'm forever grateful for the health it's given me, for the vibrancy it's given me. And in my clientele, I've just seen a massive level of rapid healing. So they can stick to protocols so much easier. They can, do a 30-day program, and they're like, that was so much easier than I thought. I felt amazing. I've never slept better. My gut felt great. My brain was clear. And so it's really given us this window to help more people, to reach more people. And also, we're in a time in the world where it's pretty uncertain, and we don't know when your job can be ripped out from underneath you, like Jenni was explaining, or when we're going to have to be online. And if your job isn't online, are you on unemployment or no unemployment, or what kind of choices people are having to make right now in the world. And in my family, we're looking at my husband being without a job by February due to current regulations. And so what this business has done for me is, in 2 years, I have tripled my full-time income through authentically connecting with other like-minded individuals, stay-at-home moms, dads, people that own studios, you name it, anybody, and just brought organic regenerative solutions to their platforms. So we're here to just share that with you and put that little bug in your ear that what Jenni is here to share is really about how this has impacted her life and how she would love to have it impact yours or somebody that you know. And if this is a good fit for you, and if you want to learn more, we have built an incredible community that I'll let Rita explain.
Thank you so much, Carrie. Thank you everyone for being here. It's amazing to just listen to everyone's stories. And similarly, this platform and this information and education has impacted my life so greatly. I got into regenerative health out of necessity due to chronic pain from a near-death car accident. And due to this information and education, I was able to get out of chronic pain that I had for over 10 years. And this superfood protocol that everyone is sharing helped me to get back to my athleticism and fitness from high school. So it really felt like I was coming home to myself for the first time in 15 years. So I'm also incredibly grateful. But what I didn't realize is that it was going to merge all of my passions, one of regenerative health and the other of soil health. And so getting these micronutrients into other people's hands has just been so rewarding, because we've been able to educate on so many important topics. And so as a community and as a company, our 3 pillars are health, financial health, and environmental health, because we are only as healthy as our air and our water and our soil. And so our company is going 100% plastic free and really leading the way, but also practicing these healthy soil practices so that people can really get micronutrient dense food into their life. And then on the financial well-being side, that's a huge pillar of health. As we know, stress can be have such a huge impact on health. And so the financial impact piece is really near and dear to my heart because it's also this business model has allowed me to create time freedom, financial independence, and location independence. And then being able to partner with so many incredible humans who are, leading based on their passions and what lights them up in the world, but also just sharing so genuinely has been a huge gift in my life. And I used to be a solo entrepreneur, but coming into this community where we're working together and we all have unique backgrounds and strengths. Some of us are in business, some of us have never done anything like this before, and others have a background in health, and together we can really uplift and support each other into greater levels of success. So I'm just so grateful for this platform and this community, and I want to pass it back off to Jenni to do some closing. But there's a few ways that you can really support Jenni here. One is just cheering her on, and like all that she's accomplished is beautiful and amazing. And another is sending her referrals if you know of anyone that is looking for solutions in their life. If they do want to partner with a community, to find solutions in their own health and well-being or in their financial well-being. And the other is just, seeing if you want to join our mission. You can learn more about it and our education in glyphosate and our Million Mom Movement, which is our nonprofit that is working to support the health of our children and our future generations. So we have so many beautiful components here and ways that you can really support Jenni, but I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Rita, Carrie, and Carrie. Yeah, thank you so much for everything. I wanted to say about glyphosate, like I never realized, like I said, like a long time ago, I got into buying organic and everything. And like, I knew that not having pesticides was, better, obviously, but I never realized the magnitude that glyphosate has the effects on our body. Like it is insane. So I'm excited to share more, with everybody and share more education, because I never realized how much it deeply impacts our health and how much it destroys our gut and, the earth, just everything. So yeah, I want to thank everybody so much for coming today. It means so much to me that you're all here and supporting me and cheering me on. And yeah, I don't know what time it is, but yeah, we're a little over, got started a little late, but I'll respect all your time and I'll stop the recording.